published editors and writers to discover the truth behind the sinking of the Titanic. This event is part of the Writing on the Wall Festival, which is dedicated to writers past and present. So Steve, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement with obviously this event today and why you're here.
Well, I'm here because I wrote a book about the musicians on the Titanic. So I was trying to find out who these guys were. You know, we just know about them as the band that played on the Titanic.
Right.
I'm trying to find out, you know, the histories and to build up family trees.
Why do you think the Titanic itself is so synonymous with the city?
It was registered there, so if people see pictures of the Titanic, they see the port. Because the White Star offices were here. As far as the musicians go, they were hired here by an agency that were in Castle Street, and actually later moved to this very street.
I've written a book called How to Survive the Titanic, or The Sinking of J. Bruce Ismay, and it's the story of Bruce Ismay, who was the chairman of the White Star Line, the company who paid for and built the Titanic. Well, I feel no one's written about Ismay. Everyone seems to ignore Ismay somehow. You can see in the films he's always marginalised in his pyjamas and creeping into a boat. And he really regretted it, but he never admitted.
He never admitted that it was his fault?
No, he couldn't. It was too enormous for him. One of the things that interested me about him was what it was like to have an experience that was so enormous you couldn't even begin to take it on board.
To take responsibility for that.
Exactly.
I spoke with the writer and curator of the recent Titanic exhibition, who publicised the Giant Girl's letter.
It's because it was published in my book at the end of 2009, and it had been in the museum archives for 20 years before that, but nobody had ever sort of picked it out and analysed its context, you know, and shown that what a touching story it is. I think it's probably one of the most powerful items like I know of relating to Titanic on a personal level that exists.
So we're just heading to Park Street Studios now for it's the final night of the Writing on the Wall Festival. This is the Pulp Idol competition. 12 finalists are going to be reading out the work. Out of hundreds of applicants, these have been shortlisted, so hopefully the winner will be picked tonight.
There's a rawness, there's an honesty, and there's also a vulnerability. And if he doesn't win this competition, then he makes sure he finishes that book.
He's written about 7 chapters.
The wall behind the bed was plastered with orange train tickets right up to the ceiling, and there were photos everywhere.
And how long have you been writing?
Quite a long time, about a year ago now.
Really?
Yeah, I've loved it. It's just been really great getting to meet different people and see how they work and kind of incorporate that and adopt it in my work approach as well. So
Fantastic.
Violet sat so close to George, their knees knocked together. She smelled like rose water and talcum powder.
Well, tonight, I mean, you can see, I think everything's been really good so far. There's two writers from prisons. That's really interesting. Like, they've both been really good. Who are writing well as well, you know. Who have got a lot of promise.
Well, how have you found? Have you enjoyed being a spectator?
Yeah, it's been amazing actually. It's really, everybody who's seen so far has been captivating. Like I would go out and buy all of their books when they're published. It's been so interesting. I can't wait for the second half.
So Jay, I believe you won the competition 2 years ago.
I did, yeah.
Since you won the competition, has that opened any doors for you?
Yeah, actually it has. I've just finished my novel this week actually.
Really?
But so I was able to quit work and write full time, so it was actually really good for me.
Well, fantastic. So there you have it. The Writing on the Wall Festival has now come to a close. It was really, really great. I was so impressed with some of the writers. I've definitely found my book that I'll be reading on the plane to Marbella. Definitely look out for the Writing on the Wall Festival if you're an aspiring writer. Definitely, it's a great event to get involved with. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. Videos at keepingupwithkelly.com.